My name is James Cotter. I'm from the Master of Public Administration, the class of 2024, and I'm from Ireland. I chose to study the MPA at LSE because it seemed like the very complementary programme to my previous work experience. I had some exposure to public policy in my previous career, and I knew that there were some gaps in my knowledge that I wanted to fill and to complement. And when I saw the MPA curriculum, I thought, okay, this mix of theory, quantitative skills, economic knowledge, and also public policy, it's a perfect fit for where I'm at right now. And yeah, I'm glad that that worked out. So the best things about being an LSE SPP student are, first of all, the international environment. There are people from places and backgrounds here who I never would have met had I not come to study the MPA. And learning also from my colleagues and my classmates has been very rewarding, and there have been just some great conversations on political issues, policy issues with people from all over the world, and I, for one, love that, and I think it's something truly unique about the MPA. I also think the access to the academics and the professors in practice, both in the SPP and also in other departments of the LSE, is very unique. It's something that is, I think, great about the LSE and also the UK academic system, that there's quite a horizontal hierarchy between students and academics, and that facilitates learning, facilitates good discussions as well, and academics are generally very open to going to them to have a conversation about something you're working on, and that has been very valuable. And I think also just the friendships I've developed. I think being a two-year program, the MPA allows plenty of time for people to really get to know each other on the program. It's a great asset of the MPA, I think. The SPP and the LSE both run great events on specific topics and public policy issues, which are very interesting, but also can push the boundaries of your learning, because it's possible to just go to an event on any given topic, even outside of what you're studying, which is great. Also at the SPP, there's a program called the Professional Skills Accelerator, which is designed to complement the learning in the classroom by embedding professional and soft skills in people's learnings. That has enabled me, I guess, to top up some of the soft skills that I had already developed in my previous work experience. Last week, for example, I just did a workshop on negotiation in public policy. That is something I definitely felt, I wanted to improve. It was a great workshop that we had, and those learnings from those workshops and additional sessions are also a very valuable offering at the SPP. And I think otherwise, just leaning in also to the experience of my classmates and learning from those around me has been a really important value add of being part of the LSE. I'm studying with people who have very rich work experience in areas that I maybe didn't have much prior exposure to, and the conversations I've had with those people have really enabled me to, I guess, broaden my own horizons when it comes to public policy, and making the most of those opportunities. Being here, talking to people and being open, I think, is one of the key ways to make the most of the time at the SPP. So my capstone project was with NHS England, that is the National Health Service, and I worked in a team of 4 on the issue of staff engagement in the NHS and productivity in NHS hospitals during COVID-19. We worked very closely with the NHS to, first of all, develop a framework to help them understand the relationship between staff engagement and productivity, since those are 2 very pressing issues in the current context. And based on that framework, we also conducted detailed quantitative and qualitative analysis, which allowed us to provide a set of recommendations to NHS senior policymakers on how they can build a more resilient healthcare system here in the UK, which takes into consideration staff concerns, but also the need to improve productivity in the NHS. It was a very enriching and challenging project, run over 5 months. Learned a lot from it, and I definitely think it's one of the highlights from my time at the MPA. I would recommend the MPA program to professionals or early career professionals who have had some exposure to public policy but who want to deepen their knowledge and to really dive deeper either into a specific area or to further develop some of the skills that they feel they maybe need to strengthen to become a more effective policy practitioner. In my case, I did have 3 years of policy experience before entering the MPA, but I knew, for example, that I did want to return to studying quantitative methods and indeed to refresh some of my knowledge in political science and indeed in other areas of public policy. So for me, it was a perfect fit, and I think for other students who may be in a similar situation, that would also be the case. I would also say it's a perfect fit for people who really want to be exposed to an international environment, who want 2 years of rigorous and sometimes intensive learning, but which will ultimately be very rewarding and worthwhile in the end. LSE experience in 3 words would be stimulating, rewarding, worthwhile.